Good morning, student. What's up? So this is a 12th session. 12th session. Last time in the previous class we read about what wit and humor. Unit 2 theme is wit and humor, and unit 2 wit and humor. In that reading part A, we read reading part A. Reading part A. That's a Dear Departed Part 1. It's a drama, children. This was a drama written by the William Stanley Houghton. And these are the main characters, Mrs. Amelia and Elizabeth Jordan. These are all we know. These are the characters we have seen. So now coming to the text, children. Coming to the text in the previous class, where we are in the previous class. Here I stopped. So Victoria said, actually what's happened, Elizabeth, Emilia Slater thought that his father was dead, and that was a message passed, gave a telegram to home to his sister Elizabeth and Ben and Elizabeth Jordan. So the both of the sisters' mentality is quite different. They are in quite a quarreled or straight way of talking. So Emilia said father has passed away. So both the sisters were discussing about that. Ben Jordan, Ben and Jordan came visited to home to the Emilia Slatter's house, and they both were talking about about their father's death. In between that, they are discussing about the assets of the father, that whether father had paid an insurance amount or not. Starting, they thought insurance paid by whom, Abel Merriweather, but later they got that information that the father didn't pay that. So now Amelia wanted to check in that what's a bureau which was locked, which was a drawer was locked. So Amelia said to his daughter Victoria to fetch out to get the keys from the grandpa's room. So there, Victoria has seen that grandpa is getting up. Victoria scared by seeing the grandpa. A structure is getting up. All these people thought he was passed away. Here, there are transfixed, means there is no motion in their movement in their structures. With amazement, shocked, Victoria clung to the Mrs. Latter, just caught. Then Ben hissed, listen. They look at the door. A slight cackling is heard from upstairs. Cackling means a way of if laughs quietly, somewhat a noise comes out from the mouth. So that is they heard from the upstairs. The door opens, revealing an old man clad in a faded but gay gown dress. Old man wearing a particular style of clothing. Anyway, these people wear a big dress gown type structure, gown like coat. He is in stockinged feet, means he stood on his feet, and although over 70, he was vigorous, same like his daughter. Very, very rude and straight way of talking, and well colored, very good in color, white. His bright, malicious eyes, means something is going to harm. No, harm means hateful eyes twinkle under his heavy reddish gray eyebrows. He is obviously, clearly either the old man Abel Merriweather or else his ghost. They thought they had seen like a ghost, just the door opened, and from there they have seen the shadow of his father. Slowly his father is revealing out in the go black gay dressing gown. And they might have they can see, all the people can see the Abel Merriweather. So they thought it might be Abel Merriweather or his ghost, his soul. So continuing to the next. See here, Cuckling means laughing quietly out of the mild amusement or satisfaction. Clad means wearing a particular type of cloth. Malicious, harmful eyes. So, what qualities of Mistress Slatter have you noticed? Vigorous, plump, straight way of talking, rude in talking. Why does Mrs. Slatter decide to shift the bureau from her father's room before the arrival of the Jordans? See, both the sisters have the same mentality. If Jordan has seen the bureau, she may do the hard bargain to own it. So that's why Mrs. Slatter did a plan to swindle it. How did Henry react to the suggestion? Quite odd. Why do the Jordans take a long time to get to the house of the Slatters? What does it shows about the two sisters' attitude towards each other? Because in between the sisters there is no proper rapport, there is no proper relations they are maintaining in between the sisters. That's not love and affection. There's no love and affection. That's why in one of the quarrel, Elizabeth decided not to come, not to visit to the house. So both the sisters quarreled because of father's assets or some other maybe. So this is the attitude of his sisters, very, very negative attitude, rash. Ben appreciated his father-in-law, saying it's a good thing he did. Later he calls him a drunken old beggar. Why does he changes his opinion about his father-in-law? When he heard father-in-law has paid the premium amount, he thought his father-in-law was a very good, wise guy. He knows his responsibility, but immediately he got that information. This is a characteristic. This is his character itself. Already we discussed he's a no individuality. Wherever is there according to the occasion, he will stick to that occasion. So as usual, he got angry. His father didn't pay them insurance amount. Immediately he scolded. That's the nature of his nature of a nature of a Ben. What made Mrs. Henry feel shocked to hear Victoria says, "Are you planning to pinch it?" Yes, Mr. Henry felt very bad. His own daughter, little child, is suspecting them. Are you planning to pinch it? Are you planning to steal grandpa's assets? See, she's a little girl, understood that this how his parents were behaving with his grandfather. So that might be quite guilty is there to the Henry. So now we are going to entering into the Dear Departed part 2. Starts with the what's the matter with little Vicky. So now Abel Merriweather came down. Here in the picture we can see. Is it right? In the picture we can see. I'll show it. What's the matter with the little Vicky? Who says this? Abel Merriweather said. What's the matter with little Vicky? What happened, ma? What girl? He sees Ben and Mrs. Jordan. Hello, what brings you here? How is yourself, Ben? So after a long time, he is seeing Ben and Jordan. So Ben and his wife. So he said, "What brings you here? Now, what is the occasion? Why you came here? How is yourself, Ben? How are you, Ben?" He just politely asked, "How are you, Ben?" Abel thrust his hands at Ben, who skips back smartly, retreats with Mrs. Jordan to safe distance below the sofa. Abel thrusts his hand. So what he is doing, he just to push something somewhere roughly. Abel, who at Ben, everyone wanted to, they are thinking he's a ghost. Is a ghost. So everyone want to check. So he treats Mrs. Jordan to safe. So Ben said to the Jordan to get back below the sofa. Mrs. Slatter approaching Abel gingerly. So what happened? Carefully, Mrs. Slatter is doing this. Mrs. Slatter slowly approached to her father. Father, is that you? Just she pokes him with her hand to see if he is solid. See, she's poking whether he is a ghost or the real man. She pokes with her hand, with a finger. She pokes and wanted to see whether he's a solid or the gas. If he's a ghost, we couldn't touch his body, no. So that's why she wanted to check. So gingerly means push. Carefully. Pokes means pinning. Abel, of course, it's me. Don't do that, Emilia. What the devil do you mean by this tomfoolery? Tomfoolery? So he said, of course, it's me. Emilia, don't do that. It's hurting me. What happened? What the devil do you mean by? See, this is an idiom, children. He wanted to say, what happened to you? Why are you doing a foolish things? Why are you poking me like that? So that is the meaning of this. What the devil? It's an old-fashioned way of showing annoyance or displeasure. So father hurt and he said, what happened to you? What is this foolishness? In that way, father shouted at Emilia. Mrs. Jordan, you took us by surprise, father. Are you keeping quite well? Oh, father, it's a very surprise to us. Father, how you are feeling now? Are you good? Abel, trying to catch the word. Ah, what? He didn't get that. What is happening here? Mrs. Jordan, are you quite well? Again, she's asking to her father. How are you, father? Are you well? Abel, yeah, I'm right enough, but for a bit of headache. Oh, I'm very good. Now it's my health is good, but a little bit of headache I'm facing. Look at Emilia. Emilia, what the dickens did I do with my new slippers? Again, the same idiom, children. What the dickens means? Sure, it's a surprise. What happened to you? Where is my slippers? Where it's gone? Always it will be near my bed. But where it's gone now? In that way, he's asking to Emilia. Emilia, confused. Aren't they by her father? See, aren't they by her? So this is the area. Here itself, father, here or there somewhere. This is also, it's in the old usages. Aren't they by hearth? Means here only in near the surrounding somewhere it will be father. In that way, she said. Abel, I don't see them. Observing Henry trying to remove the slippers. Just to see. Don't see them. Observed. He observed. Henry is removing that new slippers. Father slippers. Why you have got on Henry? Why you wore it, Henry? In that way he asked. Mrs. Slater promptly. I told him to put them on to stretch them. They were that new and hard. How now, Henry? So Mrs. Slater, she wanted. Actually, she did it. What she did, first of all, she didn't call any doctor to check whether father is alive or dead. She herself just got a conclusion that he was passed away. That was a mistake done by her. So obviously she started covering to that in front of her father. She came in between them, Henry and Abel, and she is trying to convince to father, I only gave to Henry to stretch them. The new one is very hard to you to wear, no? So now I gave Henry to stretch the slippers. Mrs. Slater snatches the slipper from Henry and gives them to Abel, who puts them on and sits in the armchair. Snatches, lagam from Henry and gave to the Mrs. Jordan. Well, I don't call the delicate stepping into the dead man's shoe in such haste. Mrs. Jordan slowly getting that information that I don't call that delicate things, doing the stupid things, stepping the dead man's shoes, stealing the dead man's shoes in such a haste. Haste means non-friendly nature, very bad. Ben Jordan. Victoria runs across to Abel and sits on the floor at his feet. Victoria, oh, Grandpa, I'm so glad you are not dead. What she said? Oh, Grandpa, I'm very, very happy to see you. You are not dead. Mrs. Slater, in the victims, hold your tongue, Victoria, in that way. Whispering, it's just slowly in the mouth. Hold your tongue, Victoria. Abel, ah, what's that? Who has gone dead? Slater again entered loudly. Victoria says she is sorry about your dead head. Instead of saying head, she said dead. Sorry, Daddy, she said. She wanted to say head. You are suffering from headache, no? She said head, not dead. Abel, ah, thank you, Vicky, but I am feeling better now. Abel, why Ben, you are in mourning? And Lizzie too, and Emilia, and Henry, and little Vicky, who has gone dead. It's someone in the family? Now Abel got doubt. These people, all the people wore mourning dress. Means starting onwards, we are saying they wore black dress, mourning. It's a kind of sympathy. It's a kind of a symbol of the death. So Ben, why all of you? Oh Ben, Lizzie means nothing but a Jordan. Lizzie means nothing but a Jordan. Jordan's nickname. Oh, sorry, Elizabeth Jordan. Elizabeth Jordan nickname is Lizzie. Even Emilia is in morning dress. Henry is in morning dress. Little Vicky is morning dress. What happened? Who has gone dead? Is someone in our family? He cuckles, laughs in a silly way. Mrs. Latter, no one you know, father, a relation of Ben's. She immediately, again, she entered into the middle of the matter and she said, no one you know, you don't know father about him. He's a somewhat relation of Ben's Abel. And what relation of Ben's? Who's he? What is the relation between Ben and him? Mrs. Latter, his brother. Ben to Mrs. Latter, damn it. I never had one. Damn it. I don't have any brothers, he said in between his mouth. Abel, dear. And what's his name, Ben? In that way, he's asking, dear. Oh, who has gone dead? What's his name? Ben, at last. Arr. He crosses to the front of the table. Slatter, right side of the table, prompting Frederick. Mistress Jordan, left of the table, prompting Albert. See, three guys in the confusion started somewhat the names. Ben said, at last, he just came to the front of the table. Mrs. Slater means Emilia said, right of the table she came and she said Frederick. And Jordan means Elizabeth said promptingly, she gave another name Albert, three of at a time. So Ben joined these three of them and said, Fred, Alb, Isaac. This was a name they created immediately, spontaneously, within a minutes. Because these three were in a confusion. They opened the mouth and they said half of the names. Frederick, Albert. So Ben, with a very good IQ, very good intelligence, he showed here. He mixed all together and he created a name, Fred, Alb, Isaac. Isaac, Abel saying, Isaac. And where did your brother Isaac die? Ben, in Australia. Abel, well, so I suppose you have only been waiting for me to begin tea. I'm feeling hungry. So what's your problem? Why are you waiting here on the dining table? Are you waiting for me to have a tea? So I'm also feeling hungry. Chalo will take a tea. Mrs. Latter, taking up the kettle, I will make tea. Abel, come along now. Sit you down and let's be jolly. So they all say how they arranged. All the people sat on that dining table, and they started. They started to the dinner. So this is the thing. Now they are able to sit at the head of the table facing spectators. So spectators means here he sat, he's going on observing all the people like a audience, spectator, observer. Now come to the next step. Abel suddenly recollecting, hey Emilia and Henry, what the devil did you mean by shifting my bureau out of my bedroom? Henry and Mrs. Slater are speechless. Do you hear me? Immediately father, here see we can see the bureau here. Here. See immediately father observed the bureau there and he just recollecting, hey Emilia and Henry, what happened? Here this whether this house was haunted by any devil. Why you people shifted my bureau from my bedroom to here? Henry and Slater become speechless. My God, now we are caught. Do you hear me, Henry? Amelia, he started shouting on them. Why you brought my bureau down? What bureau was that, father? Abel, Mrs. Jordan saying, what bureau, father? This one, is this one? Abel, why my bureau? That's that one I bought. Long back, I bought it. And he pointed to the bureau. Was it the one, father? She started making a clear-cut idea. Is that, father? That's the bureau you brought it. Abel. That's it. What's it doing there? A pause. The clock on the mental piece strikes 6. Here. We can see this is a mental piece. There she kept it. Then immediately one more shocking for them. Immediately the whatever the clock they kept there, that strikes 6. That if it is in my isn't my clock too. What the devils began going on in this house. So immediately he is shocked. Again, the clock also is there on the mantelpiece. When? Well, I will be hanged. I will be hanged. So till here, just once again you go through the lesson, children. Once again you go through the children. Once again you go to the lesson. Mrs. Jordan, I will tell that what has been going on in this house, father. Nothing, a sort of robbery. When understood now, I'm getting hanged. What is going on? Miss Elizabeth started raising her voice. Father, now I understood what had happened in the house. A little bit of robbery had taken place. Mrs. Slater, Amelia said, be quiet, Elizabeth. Again, Elizabeth, I will not be quiet. Oh, I call it a double-faced. I call you as a double-faced. In front of me, you're talking with me, and back of me, you are cheating me. You are double-faced. Henry, no, now, Elizabeth. Now keep quiet, Elizabeth. Don't shout. Mrs. Jordan, and you too. Are you such a poor creature that you must do every dirty thing she tells you? Mrs. Jordan started shouting on Henry. Whatever your wife says you will do, you don't have any individuality. Will you people, poor creature, become such a stupid fellow to encourage to support to your wife? Abel, damn it all. Will someone tell me what has been going on here? So she started thumping on the table, making noise on the table. He said, damn it, what is going on here? What happened here? He shouted. Mrs. Jordan, yes, I will. I will not see you robbed. Abel, who has been robbed me? Who has been robbed me? Mrs. Jordan, Amelia and Henry, they have stolen your clock and bureau. Working herself up, They sneaked into the room like thieves in the night and stole them after you were dead. See, Emilia and Henry have stolen your clock and bureau, father. And they sneaked means they came like a very slowly. They came into your bedroom like a thieves, and in that night they stole them after you are dead. Henry and Slater, hush, quiet, Elizabeth, keep quiet. Don't do such a nuisance nonsense. In that way they shouted. And Mrs. Jordan, I will not be stopped after you were dead, I say. Elizabeth, sorry, Abel, after who was dead? Who dead here? Who has dead? Mrs. Jordan, you. Abel, but I'm not dead. I'm not dead. Mrs. Jordan, but they thought you were. Abel gazes round at them, very shocked. Poor guy. He just with the big confusion. He never felt such a situation. So Abel, oh, so that's why you are all in black today. He understood now. You thought I was dead. He cuckles, laughs again. That was a big mistake. He sits and resumes his tea. That was a big mistake you did, children. And he sits and resumes. Quite nicely, he resumes. Sat, satisfiedly, aramly. Mrs. Latter sobbing, crying like anything. Father. So till here, it's okay, children. Next, we'll go through the next day. Continue on the next class. So today's work, what you have to do? Go through the lesson. This meanings. No. Last time, what the homework I gave? I said to write substitution words. No. So this time you do better to write the question and answers of Dear Departed One. What's your homework, children? Better write Dear Departed One question and answers one time. Dear Departed One question and answers, write and read. Thank you.